Today, we're going to talk about the surprising link between inflammation and your hormones. So, how this inflammation plays into hormones. We're going to really hone in on three key hormonal conditions. The first one being PCOS, the second being hypothyroidism or low thyroid function, like what we see in what's called euthyroid sick syndrome, and the third being insulin resistance. Hi, my name is Lauren Papanas. I'm a functional medicine registered dietitian that specializes in endocrine or hormone and autoimmune conditions. Now, inflammation is a really big buzzword, and inflammation is a normal response that happens by the immune system. The immune system goes in to be able to protect us, but for some individuals, we find that there can be actually overprotection happening where we start to drive into this chronic inflammation type situation, and this can be caused by several different factors. Oftentimes, it's a result of ongoing oxidative stress and nutrient deficiencies, as well as imbalances within places like the gut or the immune system because of viral load and such that's causing this chronic inflammation. So how this inflammation plays into hormones, we're going to really hone in on three key hormonal conditions. The first one being PCOS, the second being hypothyroidism or low thyroid function, like what we see in what's called euthyroid sick syndrome, and the third being insulin resistance. Inflammation plays a pivotal role in each of these hormonal conditions. When it comes to PCOS, we know that high levels of inflammation are actually linked to a higher level of androgen production in women, and these androgens are one of the three things that drives PCOS. These androgens are made from both our adrenal glands and our ovaries and can come from places like testosterone production as well as DHEA, androstenedione, and other types of androgens. These androgens can come from both our ovaries as well as adrenal hormone production. Research suggests that part of what drives the immune system imbalances in PCOS is actually a result of chronic inflammation. Now let's talk about the thyroid. Both in the situation of hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, and what we call euthyroid sick syndrome, we see inflammation impacting thyroid hormone production. With hypothyroidism and euthyroid sick syndrome, inflammation can actually block the conversion of the inactive form of T4 over to the active form of free T3, which is the usable form that is important for our cells to be able to regulate the speed of all function in the body. Often, we also see that when there are high levels of inflammation, this can actually increase the levels of the deactivated version of this thyroid hormone, which we call reverse T3. In the situation of autoimmunity, such as in the case of Hashimoto's as well as Graves' disease, there is high levels of oxidative stress. Generally, in these situations, we see that the amount of oxidative stress actually surpasses the body's antioxidant potential, and it's this oxidative stress that drives the inflammation process that actually drives this thyroid cell damage where we start to see the hormonal condition present. So in the situation of thyroid autoimmunity, inflammation can actually progress the autoimmunity and cause more of that thyroid cell destruction, which can then lead to more of these hormonal disruptions occurring later downstream. Inflammation can both cause and be a cause of insulin resistance. So we see high levels of inflammation being a contributing factor to insulin resistance, as well as the dysregulation in glucose patterns that appear with insulin resistance, actually causing the high levels of chronic inflammation as well. So we want to ensure that we are focusing on proper blood sugar control, that we are preventing hypoglycemic episodes or low blood sugar environments, as well as hyperglycemic or high blood sugar environments, as both of these situations of blood sugar dysregulation fuel this inflammation process from the immune cells. So as you can see in these three different situations, inflammation plays a pivotal role in our body's hormone regulation, both from a production standpoint of how many hormones are being made, as well as a conversion of the inactive over to the active form of these thyroid hormones, and even our receptor sensitivity and how our body's able to utilize those hormones and actually get them to bind to the hormone receptors where we want them to go so that they can actually go into action and work effectively for what our body's needs are. If you love this topic and you want to learn more about inflammation and its role in hormones, you're going to want to check out my Hormonal Inflammation Lab Decoder guide. I break down for you how to understand if inflammation could be driving your hormone imbalances or hormone symptoms. You can actually download a free copy of it with the link below, and be sure to hit the bell to subscribe so you'll know exactly when I post a new video.